Welcome to Ravenovah. Please go to my channel, also notification bell, like to say and share. Let's have a conversation. That's the one thing I always wanted. When I do find the right man for me, and we want to build and go forward. We decide we're going to get married, whether it's legally or illegally. We decide we're going to be married and outside our house. Now here it is. We come to the point where he doesn't want to use protection. You're like, well, I kind of don't want to use protection. Can I trust him with my body? It's always a conversation I have within my mind, because there's always someone out there. Are you willing to take the protection off when you finally find Mr. Right? Let's have a conversation.
10 years in,
Do you?
Jack came to Gil. Wife, are you taking birth control pills?
I created a channel for people who are different. Support those who support you. There's a PayPal on top. People murder. One thing, there are a lot of times people can't send in the truth, but you find one that does. Support them. Make sure they do not fall within a marginalized community as not being in existence. And you know that there are hard to find people that create a channel that cater to people who are different and stand in the truth. And the allies sit back and say, well, I have no problem with other people. Let me just stand in here to learn something. Support those no judgment who support you. I love you. Stay in your truth. What's going, people? It is the day of another day that we call Wednesday. Anybody been said what's going on, people? Hopefully everybody's doing everything as far as being safe in this world we live in, knocking down doors and making your dreams come true and practicing ignore. Now I want to talk to you about in reference to relationships and stuff. Now, before transition and stuff, I understand that a lot of us didn't sign off with the deal we ended up with as far as relationships being treated like an experiment. And it's funny because before the transition and stuff, we actually have been relationships, long-term relationships, and moving forward in our life. And then we got the big aha, or, you know, the world is changing a lot more, so we're not saying it's going to be everybody in every situation, but due to the fact that a lot of us are still single. Now, I have a question for you. Now, just imagine you found the right one due to the fact that you have a lot of education in reference to the way the men move, and unfortunately, like I said before, I thought we dating gay men, we're dating straight men. I know it's like a what do you think? But the thing about it is that I know how to date straight men and stuff like that, and I understand they're straight. People are saying they're not straight if they're messing with you, but at the end of the day, we know that they are. Just my opinion. Okay. So this way, you find a man you want to be with and stuff. You feel like, okay, let's build, let's grow, let's start a relationship, stuff like that. Now, you have to be really strong within this man to make sure he is mentally able to handle what you go through that he don't even know that you go through. So you have to think about that as well. Because now, here it is, he has to deal with a lot of things that never dealt with as far as being with you. But I'm talking about the part as far as being in a full-blown relationship. Now, you got into the relationship, stuff like that. Here it is, things are going forward, he's good, you good, everything move forward. Okay, now it comes to the point you want to get married. Okay, this means it's moving forward. And there's always been a question to me as far as when you do find the right one. Always believe there's somebody out here for us, always thinks about the location and where it is that you're located. Always feel like there's someone out there that's looking for you. Just my opinion. So, but this is my dilemma. Then y'all find this out, you're going to be together, stuff like that. Y'all get married, whether the case is be married or call yourself married. The protection. Now it comes to the point where he doesn't want to use protection, or maybe you don't even want to use protection, but to me, I always wondered this part, because it always come up within me. The protection part, that means using condoms while having sex, or taking the condoms off. You know, because I've done a lot of times people say, well, it feels better without protection, and I understand that. But due to the fact that we have the history of a lot of us that's dying, HIV positive, or other diseases, not just saying that, but a lot of times our storyline goes according to that. And a lot of us who has transitioned and stuff, it was AIDS-related, stuff like that. Not saying that it could be venereal disease, it could be a whole bunch of other things as well. I'm not going to just say that. But I understand the timeline that we always have is always that issue within me, doing a lot of research and stuff. I always notice there's always a complication from that thing. Once again, not set in stone. It could be a lot of other diseases. But I'm saying is this. When it comes to that point, I always say if a cheater, you're dealing with a man and stuff like that, he decided he wanted to step out on you. That means y'all get into an argument. He's like pissed off because, you know, relationships, you do argue sometimes. Things don't always go the way you want. It's going to have good days and bad days. Some days you're going to hate each other. Some days you're going to love each other. So this is the moment I get, because, you know, a lot of the straight relationships have a oops baby. That means a baby you had when y'all was fighting in a disagreement. That means somebody didn't use protection. Now, here it is as a two-spirit woman. Your relationship with this man, he goes out, you get into argument. He goes out and have, I'm not going to say the girl, I'm going to say the man, same for them. He goes out and have a relationship or mess with somebody else. He gets a disease, and he comes back and give it to you. Wait, let me say it this way. So he goes out and he has a relationship with somebody else, and he does not use protection. Will he tell you or not? A lot of times they won't tell. They'll say, oh, or most of the time they won't even tell you they cheated. But I guess it's not really cheating if y'all kind of broken up, but it is still cheating because y'all never officially broke it off. It's kind of like a gray area, you know what I mean? So the thing about it is that here it is, he has sex with somebody, you're praying to God to use protection because after the day, y'all decided y'all wasn't going to use protection. So here it is, you know, a lot of times with these men, they don't want to use protection. Let's be clear. So here it is, he has sex with somebody else without protection. Now he brings it back home to you. Then all of a sudden you go to get your hormone stuff, you get checked out and stuff, you find you got a disease. I'm not going to say just one, but it could be a lot of different things. So here you got a disease. You go to him, you ask him, well, hopefully it's a curable disease. So here it is, you go to him, you ask him, you're like, well, listen, did you step out, stuff like that? He's going to say most times, no, I did not. He's going to deny. Then you pull out the receipts as far as, look, I just got my test results, and it says this, and this. He'll say, well, how do you know? This is when he gets defensive. How do you know you didn't give it to me? How do you know I got to, you know, he becomes, now remind you, we're not settling the situation because the fact of the matter is that there is a disease that's in my body that transfers for you. Now you're arguing with me on something I think we need to try to compromise and come to a neutral situation. We need to find out what happened and how we could justify and clear it up. But a lot of times it don't always go that way as far as when it's confronted by the disease. People don't like to be told they gave somebody else a disease. Not all situations, but this is the question I always ask myself. If I find the right one and I want to get married, would I take the protection off? And I always want to ask you that question because there's always somebody out there, are you still using protection? I say, but well, we go get tested for that. We understand that part, that you go get tested. But the thing about it is a lot of times people don't go, once you get tested, you got tested. But when somebody cheats or steps out, they don't say, well, let me go get tested real quick before I have sex again. Because they're actually going to do it with you. Because if they don't do it with you, it's going to kind of aha them that they cheated when y'all was broken up. Now, there's an honest person be like, listen, I stepped out. Let me go get checked out first. But then they tell you that you may freak out like, oh, you cheated, so you stepped out, so you know, so they kind of don't want to hear that, but you got a mouth. So it's kind of like a dilemma there to me. It's that gray area once again of, do he tell you the truth? Do you freak out when he tells you? Or you have an honest thing where y'all can honestly talk and stuff? Because at the end of the day, a lot of times we don't want to know. We don't want to know that our man stepped out and, you know, dipped in somebody else's thing. And maybe they did a lot more. Maybe the person did a whole lot better than you. And here it is. You're now suffering disease. And the thing about it is, if you got a disease, would they stay with you and try to work it out? Because a lot of times they're like, oh, I gave you a disease. I know you don't want me no more. And like I said again, I'm not saying it's set in stone or he's going to leave you or she's going to leave you. I'm saying what happens after that. Because I always think about that after the marriage. Because a lot of times men don't want to use protection. Let's be honest. Sometimes people don't want to use it. Sometimes people do. But if you get to the point where the marriage takes place and y'all have sex without protection, will that person let you know? Then on top of that, they may leave you like, listen, I'm sorry, I don't want to hear no. Now they want to start a fight with you to leave you because you're the bad reminder of what they did wrong. And here it is, they pissed off at you for bringing it up to them, for letting them know that they infected you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always questioning that part within myself. Y'all comment below and you feel about this. Take a protection off after being married, or whatever you want to call marriage, where y'all say y'all married or not, whatever, or y'all go legally, but y'all say y'all going to take the protection off. Do you feel safe with that decision, or will you just ride it out forever with using protection? Comment below. I meet guys, stuff like that. They always try to talk me out of using protection. It's like, Raven, you good, I'm good. Why do we have to? No, I don't trust you. What is it? Did they give you this whole story? Like, you can trust me. I'm a good dude. Okay, well, a lot of good dudes that gave people stuff, and a lot of good women that gave men stuff. I'm not saying that's set in stone, but to me, I only date men. So I just want to know how you feel about this. After marriage, would you take the protection off? Or would you just say, we got to ride it out? Or that there's got PrEP out there now. I don't trust PrEP, but that's just me. I have trust issues, and y'all know how I am. I don't trust many things. But y'all can comment below. Let me know how you feel about this video. At the top, there's the Instagram button. You follow me on follow back. Let me know how you feel about this. In the world of 2021, disease is still moving around, whether you like it or not. And I don't like it. That's always been a question to me. I question within myself. Comment below and let you know I love you. And thank you for watching Catch the Ring.
All right now, you know there's a lot in this world we don't know about. Need to talk about this, especially in marriage. There's a lot more diseases out there in that jar that needs to be seen. Comment below, share the video if you can. Love you.